Hey guys, I want to make a new video going over the top farms so far in the new patch. Now, of course, all the farms are pretty much exactly the same as last league, but there is going to be a mid-league patch coming this week, bringing in new farms. At least that's what they said so. So yeah, at least for now, I want to talk about the current top tier farms you can do in the game. I already made a few videos on these, and in fact, I pretty much have all these farms on my list already. So do check out my Google Sheet. I pretty much have all the good farms on here. But yeah, me and Rutu had a chat, and on stream we pretty much made a list of what are the top tier farms currently in the current league. I want to go over all these. You can see the full VOD on Rutu's channel. This will be more so of a quick video, quickly going over every single farm on here. Let's just start with the top tier farms, the S tier farms. No surprise to anyone, tier 17 containment boxes are still pretty much one of the best strat in the entire game. Everything else has been nerfed, boxes have not been touched, which means yeah, boxes are set at the top. I've been doing tests of boxes. They're still anywhere around like 15 to 20 plus divines an hour. Still a really strong strat. If you're fast, you can definitely get 20 plus divines an hour. Just depends on your speed. And of course, I have that right here, containment tier 17 boxes. It is a high investment strategy. You'll be spending close to 2 divines a map, if not 2 divines. It's not that hard, but it's hard in the fact that yeah, you have to be tier 17 viable and you want to kill a tier 17 boss. So it's going to be harder than like pretty much any tier 16 strategy. Next is the rare scarab farm. This is one I've been doing quite a bit. It's also another top tier strategy, anywhere from like 20 to 25 divines an hour. If you are fast, this is a type of farm that scales heavily with your speed, and preferably you want to be a hunter build because you steal so many rare buffs, which just makes you so strong and fast in the map. So I would recommend to have a hunter for this farm, but yeah, it's very strong. It's this farm right here. It's very easy if you have a hunter. If you don't have a headhunter, it can be a little bit on the challenging side. But with Headhunter, this farm is very easy because it just carries you off the map. Constantly have like 60 plus buffs. Yeah, very strong farm. It's a good thing about this farm as well. It's low investment. If you add up what a scarab costs, you're looking at like 10 C per map plus the map itself. So if you're doing Fortress, like 70 to 80 KS per map. It's a very cheap farm, but does require a decent character to actually do. Next is Ultimatum. Ultimatum is very strong. In my opinion, it's the best farm in the entire game if you do a multi-count setup where you play on 2 accounts and do 2 ultimates at the same time. It is really good. If you want to do that and go through that effort, it's probably the best for the entire game. Pretty much any build can do Ultimatum as long as you stay alive, but something like Cast One Stun Chieftain, because you just the AFK, the content is easily the best build for this type of content. Once again, it's also on my sheet. I would say it's on the harder side for most builds to do, but if you set up a Cast One Stun Ultimatum Chieftain, it's very easy. You can AFK, you can watch shows on the side. Yeah, very good form. Next one is Ethereal All Flame. So I haven't made a video on this, but I did test it live on stream a few days ago. It is quite good, but it is also quite expensive. It's using these all flames right here, these ethereal all flames. They're very expensive, but they are very worth doing. It depends on the current price of these, how good this is. At 160, 170 chaos, this was over 20 divines an hour. I'm not sure currently at 210 chaos if this is worth the investment. You'll still make profit. I'm just not sure if it would be like 20 plus divines an hour. Yeah, the supply of these are just so low. But anyway, it is a very strong farm. Essentially, you want to roll a very high scarab map, use scarab chisels. Usually you want to buy like a 180% scarab maps, then use scarab chisels, and it's just giga investment for giga scarabs. You get somewhere around like 4 inventory of scarabs per map, but you're also spending like 7-8 divines per map. So yeah, very high investment. That's mostly it for what I say is the S tier strategies. Some strategies on the A tier can definitely come close. It just kind of depends. Next is the Pilferin tier 16 8 mod Jungle Valley strategy. A pretty common strategy. Some people like doing it, some people don't. Essentially, the TLDR for this strategy is that you're rolling boxes, rolling divination boxes. You get like 500 plus card bosses. Then you kill an extremely hard boss. 500 plus cards is very hard. If you tried this strategy before, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of just a gamble strategy. It's not that much currency an hour until you hit big. It's probably like 5 to 8 divines an hour until you hit something big like a doctor card or apothecary. So if you like gambling, this could be a fun strat to do. But yeah, it's pretty low currency gains until you actually hit something really good. Next is Big Boom Extreme Archaeology. John likes doing this strategy quite a bit. I think Ru's been doing it quite a bit as well. It's always good. Essentially, you're just doing max juice expedition. You want to clear it as fast as possible. Usually dot builds are very strong at this. Physical dot, chaos dot, poison mamba, bleed slam, stuff like that. Although any build can do it, it's just easier for the dot based builds. But it is also very profitable. You want to do these maps as fast as possible. Next one is Harvest Crop Rotation, tier 17 or 0.5. Essentially, you want to roll a high pack size. I made a video about this a few weeks ago, and I also have it on my sheet as well. The harvest crop rotation right here. You can do a lower investment rotation harvest plan, but it'll be lower returns. The harvest crop rotation for the tier 17 strat is the best version of harvest, but it is also the hardest version of harvest, and it's also the highest profit version of harvest. It is very good, but it can be quite hard. And usually you do want to use a risk gap if your build can handle it. It does add quite a bit to your profit. Tier 17 boss rush for fragments. Essentially, you just straight up rush into Abomination or Sanctuary. You can buy corrupted maps for a cheaper price even. Rush to the map boss and leave. You just farm fragments, that's really it. All you really need is a high single target build to comfortably kill the boss at a fast pace. Tier 17 map form or tier 16.5. So there's like 3 main strategies for this. You have Alpha Champions, you have Cardo Multitudes, Spicy Sushi has done this quite a bit, and you have the Blight farm, which is the farm I showcased on my YouTube a few days ago, and it's also on this sheet as well. All 3 are very strong. I do think Blight map farm is the best version, although it is also the hardest version and the most investment version. The farm Sushi does, Multitudes Cardo, is very, very cheap and pretty consistent if you want a lower investment and easier difficulty to do. Then you have like non-Atlas stuff like Delve. It has actually been quite a bit better this league. From what I've heard, Delve is over like 10D an hour if you're pretty good at it. Yeah, Delve definitely way better this league because they did some changes. Resonators are quite more expensive this league because you can only really get them from your Atlas. So yeah, they are over 2 chaos each. Usually they are 1C each. So yeah, Delve is quite a bit better this league. And then of course Sanctum. Sanctum is always pretty solid, always pretty decent, always over like 10D an hour. If you're really fast, over 15 divines an hour. If you know to deal with Sanctum, you gotta be a high single target build with high movement speed. Then the B tier forms. These are forms that are usually way easier than the A and S tiers, although in return they are way less profitable. But all these forms are pretty much easy and like least starter viable builds can do. Stuff like Beast Farming. So you can do Beast Farming tier 16 white strands, or you can do tier 6 yellow maps for a little bit easier. But all you really need is a fast build that has some good single target. Beast Farming is always good, and do keep in mind, Beast Farming is something that scales heavily as the league goes on. A month into the league, beasts only get more and more expensive, which makes beast farm more and more profitable. Divination Cloister Farming, this has been pretty popular. It's very, very low entry. It's like maybe like 8-7D an hour. You just want like a fast clearing build, don't really need any damage. I do have this on my sheet as well. It's just right here, stack deck ritual farm. Essentially all you're doing is farm stack decks. So for a new player, it's very easy to liquidate. You get stack decks and you sell your stack decks, and that's it. There's not much going on, not much to say here. You just full clear the map, you do every ritual to make your Divinational Cloister monsters respawn, pick up the stack decks, and you can sell them. You can also open them yourself, but if you open them yourselves, it will be a big gamble, so that's up to you. Then we have the Deli Mirror Boss Rush strat, either Beach or Strand. Usually I would prefer this on Strand, but essentially all you're doing is going to send rewards and then kill the boss, instantly leave. This is a type of farm that scales heavily with your clear speed. You want to be as fast as possible. These maps are very, very short, like a minute or under, so you want to be a very fast build if you're going to do this strategy. I also do have this on my farm as well. It is very profitable, especially since Deli Orbs are going up in price, and you do get quite a bit of Deli Orbs from this. So this strat is definitely pretty good right now. Then we have a different type of Deli Orb form. This is putting Deli Orbs on your map, usually currency orbs, and you're just trying to get as much rewards as possible. So the more orbs is more difficulty. So 3 orbs is like where you can start at. 4 orbs if your build is better. And usually it's not much to do 5 orbs because mobs get too tanky. Essentially this farm is just trying to kill as many mobs as possible to get as many currency rewards as possible from your Delirium Orb. So usually in this form, you use the currency Delirium Orb and you put on 3 or 4 of these, then you try to full clear the map. Now these can drop divine, so they are quite good. Simulacrums, not an Atlas strat, but an out of map strategy. You probably know Sims. You want a really good build for this. You want as many rewards as possible, and you always want to be able to clear wave 15 if possible. The main profit from this usually comes from unID'd voices. So you can ID the voices yourself. It's a big gamble, or you can just sell them unID'd for guaranteed profit. That is where a lot of the profit does come from. Legion tier 16, I do Legion all the time. I make videos on Legion. You probably know this already. But yeah, Legion tier 16, at this point, if you can do 8 mods, they are very, very good. I would recommend it. Any high coverage build, KB, Bow, Exang Miner. I do a lot of Legion. You probably know about it. It's always pretty decent. A nice B tier strategy, like a week, 2 weeks in. Next, we have boss rushing with maybe invitations. Usually Conqueror is the one you do, but essentially you rush to the map, you kill Conqueror, you witness all 4, then you go to Keurig and you do his invite. Yeah, it's just doing Maven Witness right here, do all 4 and just do the invite. It's pretty good profit. It doesn't require that kind of a build. You just want, good single target. You don't need clear speed. You don't even really need that much tankiness. As long as you can kill the bosses fast, you'll make good profit with this. Then to quickly go over tier tier strategies. These are strategies I wouldn't really recommend in the current meta. You can do them. They can be okay starter strategies, but they aren't like all that good, all that profitable. Ritual is like whatever, right? This league, it's kind of like okay. You kind of gamble for like high value unique items, like or maybe like mirror shards or random high div cards. It's a gamma strat, but usually pretty low value. Harbinger this league is actually getting better, and I can see Harbinger moving up to B tier. But at the start of the league, this was pretty bad because fraction orbs were worthless. Now fraction orbs are going up a little bit in value, so this farm is getting quite a bit better. Still not anything insane. It might be moving to B tier, but yeah, it's still a decent farm. Essence this league has been pretty mediocre as far as I can see. Maybe like 5, 6, 70 an hour, maybe higher. This is one of those farms that scale as the league goes on. So like a month into the league, Essence tend to be worth more, which makes Essence a better strategy rather than a week into the league. Creator Cope. Essentially, Creator Cope is just Hunt and Fussavallen. It's a complete gamma strategy, usually just combined with other strats, but if you want to do it as alone, as a singular strat, it's not that great. A Simplex Cope Heist. This entirely depends on how, expensive heist uniques are or heist amulets are. Currently, at least as I record this video, they aren't that much, so the whole heist strategy isn't that great, but you can do it if you like those big gamma strategies. Same Betrayal. Betrayal is a mechanic that scales heavily as the league goes on. Currently, Veiled Exalted Orbs aren't worth that much. You can get some off lanes. It's like an okay strategy. But a month into the league, when Veiled Orbs are worth like 20 divines, then this strategy becomes a lot better. But at least as of right now, it's not all that great. Yeah, that is the full farm tier list before the patch. The patch is coming out this week, which will bring more farms. I'll be here to test it and make new videos of it, of course. But I wanted to make this video to give a quick TLDR of what are some good farms you can be doing right now. And do keep in mind, pretty much all of these farms are on my sheet. I tell you exactly what to roll for your map, what Keurig you should do. So like Keurig Ambush. If you don't know what a Keurig Ambush is, that is the map device right here. So if I say Keurig Ambush, that means put an ambush on your map device. I'm also tell you what to roll for, and also tell you what map tier to do, tier 17, tier 16, and what scarabs to use. So yeah, all these strats are on my sheet besides like a couple of them. But yeah. That's pretty much the entire video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. But yeah.